This is Mike Conklin, Chairman and CEO of Sentinels of Freedom. This is our podcast series we call Veterans Never Stop Serving. And I think that you'll find that the veterans who have graduated our program, Bridge to Education program, have such inspiring stories. It really is heartwarming, and we all want to see them succeed. Now we drop back over 700 of our sentinels, as we call them, graduates, and those in college still. Their stories are such a wide variety of different business disciplines they've gone into and things that they're doing, hurdles that they've gotten over in getting their education and getting into career fields. So it's really designed for them to tell us their story after they've been through our program and moved forward and how it affected them. And so today we're very honored to have Marlene Rodriguez, but now it's Marlene. What's the new last name?
Zander.
And recently married, and a Staff Sergeant in the United States Army, wounded, hit with an RPG, came into our program, and we've met a few times, and we're just really happy. As I told you earlier when we were starting to get on this call, you look fabulous. Oh. Now, I don't know if I can say that with all this PC stuff going on, but you just do. You radiate, and I know you went through a lot, but you look happy, and I'm really happy to see you this morning. So a little bit, if I could throw it over to you, from the time you were wounded and you had I think 3 deployments, you got into the rehabilitation track, that's physical and mental, and then started into your education. That's when we found you. And then moving forward, you have a lot of goals. One of them is, you've told me that you want to climb Everest at some point. And of course, that's a huge goal, but you can do anything you want to do. I know that. We've known you for a while. But tell us a little bit about how you're doing today, and some of the stories about your transition and education process, and then on to what you're doing today and what some of your future goals might be.
Okay, so Mike, you look amazing as well.
Thank you.
You definitely can say that. I appreciate you telling me that. It's definitely been a long journey for me.
Right.
With the chronic disorder, and then also just being sober and recovering from that as well.
Right.
So yes, in 2016, in 2019, I graduated from Texas State University, with a bachelor's degree in recreation therapy. I was a therapist for a few years. I work with the VA and also with a nonprofit organization. And it kind of put me in a different type of mental state as well. I started to struggle again with my mental stability. So I stepped away for a little while, and I came across strength and conditioning training. And I kind of pushed myself to become a personal trainer. So now I am still a recreation therapist licensed, but I implement that kind of therapy into personal training and strength and conditioning. So I condition 2 youths, 2 elderly people, and then also adaptive. I have a above the knee amputee female. And then I also have above the elbow male amputee.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just recently launched my LLC in November.
Mhm.
And it's only been, well, now it's been 6 months, but last month I hit my actual 1 year goal, which is amazing. I mean, the business is going. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, I never expected it to, and I think it's just the fact that I love fitness. I love the outcome of or the results of what happens when somebody realizes that it does help their mental
Mhm.
stability, and yeah, it's just been a great goal.
So, we have a couple of our other Sentinels have um, gone down the same track in starting gyms and um, uh, the uh, process of that. In fact, we just talked to look up his bio here. One of our Sentinels is going on for his doctorate in analytics, and um, he has started worked with a company that has franchising gyms. He's kind of on the side of that now, doing other things. But he said it's really a lot of it is analytics, is finding out how many people of this nature are in a specific area, and I want to get him in touch with you because he's a brain at this stuff, and see if he can help you there. And again, this is another great thing about this program is all of you out there. I can almost, whether it's somebody that's going into medicine or law, we have a Sentinel that's doing the same thing or has graduated, become successful in that area. And recently, we have another, just very recently, a young Marine who was blown up at the Kabul airport, and that's his dream. He wants to open a gym. So I've got somebody like you that I can have him talk to, and a couple of our other Sentinels that have kind of been there, done that, and maybe you can give him some lessons learned from your experience. But looking at what you're doing, this slogan we have, veterans never stop serving. You're a great example of that, and it's really the truth. I mean, look at the people that you are helping with what you learned, and you love what you're doing, and
Uh,
that's a very special person. I know it takes a lot of patience, and nothing happens overnight in the physical world of rehabilitation. I've been through it myself, several back injuries and a couple of airplane crashes and things like that. Lucky I'm alive, but it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, it takes time. And so having a coach, somebody that we always say, well, we walked at your side in the process of you being in our program, that you carried 99% of the water in your success. And I say that over and over again because it really is the truth. But look at you now, helping other people. I just love it. We all love it. So we're very, very proud of you.
Right. Yeah, definitely. For sure. If I didn't necessarily have you all by my side doing my schooling and getting my education and helping me, with that second hand, I wouldn't be where I am right now. That's for sure. The guidance with it, and then what really pushed me to launch my own business was I went to you guys provided like a I think it was a like a little podcast thing.
Mhm.
Um, his name is Derek. He did the podcast, and
Right.
I sat in it, and I spoke with him afterward. And like your guys' networking just happened to work out, and he kind of like coached me into like, this is you do it. Let's do it. Don't be afraid to do it. And with his advice and understanding how to get through it, um I launched it, and it was scary, but
Yeah.
uh, it's going for sure. As far as like climbing Mount Everest, I mean, I'm always trying to get there. Funding wise, it's really expensive. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I've climbed several other mountains that kind of mirror
Mhm.
Everest, I guess. Um, but getting there, I'll get there someday. I know that.
Sure. Yeah. When I was a young guy, I climbed Kilimanjaro,
Oh yeah.
And it's actually a fairly easy climb. It's the altitude changes that going up that rapidly that you got to be careful of. And then Mount Kenya, I went up Mount Kenya also.
Nice. Nice.
But yeah, I think that's a great goal. And you know what? If you want to do it, I have no doubt that eventually you will do it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but
My my most recent goals now are actually to I want to go back to school and probably get a education secondary education degree.
right.
I've been looking into troops to teachers, and there's a school in I believe Maine that provides some help with that.
Hmm.
So I've been looking at that because I want to get into physical education for K through 12.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I would just say it's almost hard to do both. So you just have to sit down with yourself and say, which one can I be most effective in? Now, obviously, getting a paycheck, a regular paycheck, is a great thing to have. Also, in school districts, that's where you go to do that. Um, but there's a program we have called Udemy. I don't know if Sam has told you about that, but look around in there; those are free to you. They've given us those programs for free, and such a wide variety of classes that you can take. And some of them actually, like they can take a LSAT class to get you ready to pass the bar or things like that, or get into law school. So those take a look at that list. I mean, I think they have 18,000 courses, and
Wow.
some of them are self-help courses. How to give a speech, how to talk to people, how to sell, um, and how to put together a business plan. All of those things are in the Udemy world, and we're just very, very honored and humbled that they picked us as a veterans group to receive that as pro bono, basically. So take a look at their website. Then other than that, you're living down in San Antonio, which is a high density of veterans because of Brooke Army Hospital and the Center for the Intrepid. I was there the day that they cut the ribbon for the Center for the Intrepid, and it's fabulous. Um, so I know that you're around a lot of veterans all the time. I hope you're staying in touch with some of your old platoon or section or company soldiers you served with. I think that's a healthy thing to do, and you never know when that one call you make that one day to say how you doing helps them through a difficult time. So that's important, and I do think it's healthy. So I know you're doing that. Um,
Good.
so all right. So kind of one of the things I always ask you guys, because I have three sons, all Army Rangers, two still active career. And when we get together with their buddies and go out for a beer or a pizza or something, it's inevitable that some funny story comes up of whether it was boot camp or ranger school or overseas or whatever, but a funny story. And I love them because, it's not all terror and gore and shooting at people. There's times when these bonds that you make with your other soldiers, a lot of it's a lot of humor is involved. So if you look back and think about it, have you got a funny story of your experience with your other soldiers?
I'd have to say that probably one time when we took the Humvees out and just drove around camp without the lights on. I think that was probably the best experience of my life. It definitely was pretty dangerous. We rolled over a Humvee, but it was just us having fun,
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there and not realizing we were in a dangerous situation. But yeah, we drove the Humvees around this open area and with no lights on, and
yeah.
yeah, definitely rode over a Humvee.
Okay. Well, I hope everybody got out safe, but
Everyone was
yeah.
perfectly fine. It
Yeah.
was just a crazy
Yeah.
little incident. Yeah,
Those are memories you'll keep forever
for
and
sure.
part
I'll
of
never forget it.
your life. Very few people, 1% of our population or less is in the military. It's a very special person that says, I'm going to do this. I'm going to step forward and volunteer to serve. A lot of people say, thank you for your service. I say, thank you for your service to our nation, because that's really what it's all about. And so thank you, Marlene, that from all of us, non-veterans and citizens out here, we really depend on you to maintain our freedom and quality of life. And you did that, and nobody can ever take that away from you.
Definitely, and
Yeah.
I appreciate all the support that not only you do yourself, but the organization you created. It's definitely supportive,
Yeah.
and I mean, I have another whole purpose, and like if that one doesn't work, I know how to think about what more I can do in life, not just dwell anymore. You know.
And we're always here for you. And we have amazing case managers, Sam and Havila, and they're always there for you to talk. I'm always here, but women to women, they talk differently than men to women. I'm kind of take some, drink some water, take a knee, where they listen differently and have different ways of communicating. So they're always there, and they love talking to you. And I think when was the last time you were out here? 2016 with us to our gala.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that was when that was the Army, right? Was that the Army one? General Votel.
Not sure. We had Kyle Carpenter as a
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
great guy, great story.
He's
Great
a
person.
wonderful guy. And he's doing the same things that you are. I mean, he's still serving, helping other veterans and creating a lot of awareness. And that's unique.
Right.
But,
That's most
okay.
definitely why I created my business. So I cater to, I'm a mobile personal trainer. So I
Mhm.
cater to those who are housebound because
Right.
I realized when I was injured, I was just home. I was
Mhm.
home. There was nobody to come to me, nobody to say, hey, you need to get up, you need to move your body around. And all I did was, gain weight, gain weight, gain weight. And then, my joints were stiff, my body was stiff, and I didn't have any movement. And
Mhm.
so that's kind of what I do. I drive to those who are housebound, and I provide them movement to their body.
Yeah. Yeah. And that I know, again, that's great, because you're right. That some of them can't get out, some of them don't drive. Uh, and it's very difficult for them to get services and therapy treatment, things like that. So that's a great model for you, and it's something that you own 100%, and you make the decisions of where you're going to go and who you're going to see. So you got a lot of independence there in that world, and I bet you enjoy that.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. It's definitely I always like toss the idea of should I get a credit card? Should I get a loan? It's like it gets
Mhm.
scary. But I'm getting through it.
Yeah,
Learning.
good for you. Well, thank you, Marlene. It's just been a real pleasure and honor to speak with you.
It was great
And
to see you.
yeah, and thank everybody out in Radio Land for listening. Please share this with your friends and family. Remember that only you can teach your children well, and that's important, about the service and sacrifice that these young men and women make in joining our military and serving our nation. Today, we're going to honor Northrop Grumman for their support of our mission for many years, almost when we first started. Great company, and of course builds all the equipment and gear that our military needs for their missions. So thank you to Northrop Grumman. Also, again, I want to thank our listeners. Without your support, we can't do the work that we do. So please visit our website at www.sentinelsoffreedom.org to learn more. We have a lot of videos of our Sentinels telling their stories, and I think it's a great learning experience for you to share with your children also. So thank you again. This is Mike Conklin and Marlene signing off for today. Thank you again, Marlene.
Thank you, Mike, and
Okay.
everyone over there.